Hello, my name is Alistair White and this is video 3, the final in the series of my TL2105 Sports for International Development. In this presentation I shall be evaluating the role of various sport development agencies that support development, making reference to wider development goals. I shall be also including theories of sports development, how these sport development agencies help to achieve goals, and also is using sport to develop an effective tool. Two theories I've chosen to speak about is firstly the dependency theory and secondly the modernisation theory. The first theory I'll be talking about is the dependency theory. The main notion of this theory is resources flow from a poor, less economically developed country, also known as periphery, to a much richer economically developed country, also known as the core. The core countries would use their knowledge and education on how to take advantage of resources to then increase development of their own infrastructure. Core countries would then employ people from the periphery, due to being cheap labour, to produce goods to then sell back to periphery countries. Core countries would profit and grow faster, whilst periphery countries develop slower. The second theory is the modernisation theory. This theory consists of 5 stages talking about the economic growth of a country. This is all based on Rostow's model, as you can see on the right. Traditional society, economic growth is stationary and is dominated by agriculture and traditional cultivating techniques. Preconditions for takeoff. Investment is beginning to increase due to the Industrial Revolution. Machines begin to take over the human workforce and countries start to develop basic needs to help develop. Takeoff. This is when the industry begins to economically grow due to the goods it is producing with the current economic wealth. Drive to maturity. Continual investments into the goods means the economy is starting to grow and increase greatly. New forms of industry can now be introduced due to the economic growth, and the country is now developing faster at a greater rate than anyone has ever known. And lastly, high mass consumption. At this point, people are living comfortably and have no pressure or challenges facing them within society. This is when the country is at its peak development. So as I've previously mentioned in the first and second video, this is just a quick recap of the SDGs and MDGs that came up at the UN Assembly. Following on from those SDGs and MDGs is the important sports development agencies that are going to help them get those goals. Agencies such as Right to Play, Moving the Goalpost, United Through Sport, UNICEF, the United Nations. All these are important as KID 2008 states the overarching importance of the fight against HIV and AIDS, one of the biggest problems in developing countries. The first agency looking more in depth at is Right to Play. Right to Play provide opportunities developed through the play-based activities set up for them. These will equip children with knowledge of how to face contemporary challenges within their community. Children learn best through play-based activities, and all the games are especially designed to give the children these knowledge and skills to overcome adversity and to tackle challenges. This is no matter whether it's health concerns, lack of education, conflict resolution, or all three. Right to Play work towards other development goals by ensuring there is a gender balance, improve health and awareness on how to combat other diseases such as AIDS and HIV, reduce conflict within a community, provide good education to all, and create a sustainable community development by training and using young leaders to pass on their knowledge. Next is UNICEF, United Nations International Children's Emergency Fund, work in 190 countries and territories. Their aim is to save children's lives, to defend their rights and to help them fulfill their potential. UNICEF run various projects to try and achieve the goals below that I will mention in a moment, but all this is done by running projects such as Soccer Aid, where money is raised and then reinvested into projects. The money will go towards things like protecting children from health risks and diseases, protecting them and improving the community's environment, reduce inequalities and the barriers that challenge people, increase child survival and lower mortality rates, provide clean water and sanitation, provide education opportunities, reduce poverty, giving people a safer place to live and be away from conflict, and emphasise the importance of gender inequality in all parts of life. The next agent being looked at is Moving the Goalposts. This is a community-based organisation located in the rural Kilifi district of the Coast Province, Kenya. It started as a sport and development project in 2001 with less than 100 girls. Now it has more than 5,000 adolescent girls participating now. This agency works towards achieving development goals by taking part to become physically stronger and healthier, develop life skills, connect with members of the community, promote gender inequality and women's rights, and provide quality education for women. Lastly is to analyse whether sport is an effective tool in helping development. So according to the United Nations, sport is yet to reach its potential in aiding development. Sport is currently seen as a human right, but is not seen as a priority for people to take part in. It is seen as a good tool to work towards the current MDGs and SDGs due to its ability to teach so many important lessons, whilst making people physically active. Sport needs the help of the United Nations to help governments, NGOs and communities use sport in the right way so they can achieve this. On the other hand though, Ingrid Butler argues that the lack of resources and funding from stakeholders interested associated with the project can cause problems, along with the increasing costs of taking part due to developing world also being not enough sport development professionals to implement strategies to achieve goals in communities, and small sport and physical education infrastructure in many countries. Similarly, Brian Kidd adds, sport should be better integrated into development goals. Sport should be also used as a tool for development and peace, and that development programs need greater support from the UN and governments to achieve goals. Overall though, I think that sport is currently going in the right direction to become an effective tool. Like many points I've previously covered, it will eventually get to the point where it will have succeed and achieve the goals that the MDGs and SDGs have. Thank you very much for listening, and I hope my 3 videos have gave a good insight into sport and international development.